The Book of Exodus records a series of events: poisoned water, dead livestock, and failed crops that crippled the Egyptian state. For centuries, these accounts have been viewed through a theological lens. However, recent geophysical data suggests that this entire sequence could have been initiated by a single volcanic eruption over 1,000 kilometers away. The search for evidence often centers on the Ipuwer Papyrus, a manuscript currently housed in the Netherlands. It is frequently cited as an independent Egyptian account of the biblical plagues. The papyrus contains a series of lamentations describing a period of chaos. The author, Ipuwer, describes a world where the poor have become rich, the land is in mourning, and societal structures have dissolved. This graphic compares the text of Exodus 7, where the Nile is changed into blood, against Ipuwer Papyrus 2.10, which states the river is blood. Proponents of a literal historical interpretation point to this linguistic overlap as proof that the papyrus is an eyewitness report of the biblical events. However, historians note that the papyrus describes a migration of Asiatics into the Egyptian delta, which contradicts the biblical account of a Hebrew population leaving the country. In the Egyptian literary tradition, the image of a river of blood was a common metaphor for civil unrest and violence. It served as a poetic description of social upheaval rather than a literal observation of the water's chemistry. Identifying the cause of these events requires moving past literary tropes to examine the physical evidence of a geological disaster. This photograph shows the Santorini caldera, the remnant of the Minoan eruption of Thera. This event occurred in the mid-2nd millennium BCE. Volcanologists classified this eruption as one of the largest in the last 100,000 years, ejecting massive quantities of ash and volcanic gases into the atmosphere. This map tracks the predicted trajectory of the ash plume. High-altitude winds carried sulfate aerosols and fine ash southeast from the Aegean Sea toward the North African coast. The plume eventually settled over the Nile Delta, the location of the Egyptian capital at P. Ramesses. This atmospheric intrusion supports the ecological domino effect hypothesis, where a single environmental shock triggers a chain of biological events. A high volume of sulfate aerosols in the stratosphere disrupts regional weather patterns. This can lead to unseasonal cooling and violent localized storms. This image shows a transparent ice core sample. The distinct dark band trapped within the ice consists of sulfate deposits from ancient volcanic activity. Glaciologists use these precise layers to date volcanic events. These ice cores confirm a significant spike in atmospheric sulfur during the mid-2nd millennium BCE. This geological shockwave provided the chemical and climatic inputs that could have initiated a sequence of biological catastrophes in Egypt. The sequence begins as iron-rich volcanic ash washes into the Nile. This influx lowers the pH of the river and changes its nutrient balance. This photograph shows an algal bloom, often called a red tide. The shift in water chemistry and temperature can trigger a rapid expansion of toxic dinoflagellates, turning the water red. The resulting lack of oxygen suffocates fish, while toxins force amphibians onto the land. Deprived of their aquatic habitat, these frogs die in large numbers. The loss of fish and frogs removes the primary predators of insect larvae from the river system. Without these predators, populations of gnats, flies, and mosquitoes increase rapidly. These swarms act as vectors, carrying pathogens from the contaminated riverbank to human and animal populations. This leads to the fifth plague, an epizootic outbreak among grazing livestock. Epidemiologists propose that the specific culprit was Bacillus anthracis, the bacterium that causes anthrax. This diagram shows the incineration of infected carcasses in an ancient kiln. To manage the massive number of dead animals, the Egyptians likely burned them. However, incineration aerosolizes anthrax bacilli, creating heat-resistant spores that can be carried by the wind. The release of these spores explains the sixth plague, an outbreak of cutaneous anthrax, which manifests as black ulcers and sores on both humans and animals. The subsequent plagues, hail, locusts, and darkness, can be tied to the volcanic fallout. The ash cloud can blot out the sun for days, while atmospheric pressure shifts drive swarms of locusts into new territories. While the Book of Exodus is a theological text, The events it records follow the biological and geological sequence of a total ecosystem failure. While the biological mechanics of the cascade theory are consistent, the historical timeline presents significant contradictions. This timeline plots the Thera eruption between 1628 and 1520 BCE. The biblical early date is 1446 BCE, leaving a 100-year gap. A late date of 1260 BCE pushes it further, showing no chronological alignment between physical evidence and accepted dates. This discrepancy is the center of the debate between maximalists, who seek to reconcile the dates, and minimalists, who argue the lack of evidence suggests the account is not historical. Archaeological evidence is difficult to obtain because nomadic populations typically do not build permanent structures. This image shows an active archaeological excavation. Historians look for burnt foundations and specific pottery styles to date the destruction of ancient cities. The absence of these structures in the Sinai Desert is consistent with the behavior of a migrating population living in temporary encampments. We are left with a narrative that is biologically plausible, but historically unmoored, as modern radiocarbon dates clash with ancient methods of record-keeping. The scientific investigation currently hinges on three central questions. First, is the existing chronology for the era incorrect? It is possible that radiocarbon dating in the Aegean requires recalibration. It is also possible that biblical numbers like 480 years were used as symbolic formulas rather than literal measurements of time. Second, is the Ipuwer Papyrus a record of a different event? A localized trauma from the Thera fallout could have been preserved in oral traditions and later integrated into the Exodus story. Third, how do we explain the 10th plague, the death of the firstborn? In a starving society, firstborns likely received larger food portions. Stored in damp conditions, this grain could have contained a lethal dose of fungal mycotoxins. A sociological theory suggests the deaths could be tied to a crisis cult response, where desperate populations engaged in child sacrifice to appease their gods, similar to evidence found in Minoan ruins. Analyzing these ancient texts through the scientific method provides a window into how early civilizations documented and processed a changing environment. Does knowing there is a biological explanation for these events change their significance, or does it show that the story is rooted in a real surviving memory of survival?